It's been called a paradise of paraphernalia, and for over 75 years, it has been the go-to place for the curious, the adventurous, and the kinky. Created at a time when the country desperately needed some levity, it managed to make a name for itself selling inexpensive merchandise that people probably wanted more than they needed. Whether you were looking for a tombstone paperweight, a 1-foot plot of land in Texas, or the world's first adult doll, you were sure to find a perfectly wacky gift. And today, because top sellers might include things like an I Love Breast and Beer shirt, or some body jewelry, or a neck massager, it's safe to say that they have caused some waves and pushed some boundaries. But after 7 decades of questionable products, changing consumer trends, the rise and fall of the shopping mall, a worldwide pandemic, and even a few hazingas, they have managed to not only survive, but to thrive. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Spencer's.
You're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
Hey, I'm Jon.
Hey, I'm Marisa. Okay.
Spencer's. You might know it as Spencer's Gifts. It is now called Spencer's. Why am I doing Spencer's?
It's the horniest store in the mall, of course.
I went to Spencer's Gifts 2 days ago. I'm going to describe it at the end of the show because I'm going to put a little let's put the children in another room.
A good idea.
I don't want to go too deep into it here because it is a scene. Spencer's Gifts is a scene. But so
that part of the pod will be behind a beaded curtain in like an 18 and up room. So if you have any 18 and under, they let them play with some blocks.
And if you're just pulled over in the road, just set them outside in the grass,
the car.
in the ditch, where you would, if a tornado was coming in that little area. So I do kind of see Spencer's as like a summer brand because for me, when I was younger, like one of my favorite things, probably my favorite things to do in the summer were to hang out with my friends. I had a big group of friends and
Very popular.
I mean, sure, but it was like we didn't have internet. We didn't there was reruns. Like we played outside. Like we were always just outside. But as I got a little older, I loved going to the mall.
Oh, so, air conditioning.
Like other teenagers from rival schools or like people you see someone and you're like, they went to another school and have a crush on them. It was just it. Like,
your math teacher is bra shopping.
Your algebra teacher's looking for a jock strap. I can help you, Mr. Cleary.
Is that your real algebra teacher?
No, I don't remember his name. But I do remember we cheated in math. We came up with a brilliant way of cheating. We would say that we didn't have, like certain people would say we didn't have a calculator.
Yeah.
Because we were allowed to use calculators on some of the tests. And so we would have to share calculators. So if we needed the help with a question, we would type in the number of the question we needed help with, pass the calculator. They would put in the answer. The only time you got in trouble is when you had to, the 3 worst words in school, show your work.
Oh, it should be illegal.
It should be illegal. Do you remember how weird it was when we got to the age where there were like books that had the answers in the back?
Yes.
And you're like, I think I'm going to do okay this year.
And they're like, we trust you to not use this, exploit this. I think I've said this before. My mom had so little faith in me as a student that she saved all my sister's homework and schoolwork so that I could copy it. So like I literally had tests. Like we had the same teacher. I literally had math tests with like all the answers.
She didn't change the test? Yours like 4, 12,
yeah.
remainder 3.
So calculators were huge for cheating. We've talked about the TI-83 when that came in, the graphing calculator. They cost $900. Nobody's parent could afford them.
Nobody could afford the stupid calculator. And I must have told this on the pod.
Yeah,
if I did,
probably.
It was very early. I could not afford a graphing calculator in college.
Which, by the way, how can they require something and that expensive and not provide it? It feels insane.
Well, mine was for college.
Sure.
And college, I don't remember if you went to college. No. So you had to like buy textbooks back in the day. And like you would go and they would be like, oh, that's a used textbook. So it's $68.
For how much college costs? They don't include the books?
They don't get the books. You just get a list and then you go try to find the cheapest book that someone's already used. It's also, I will say, I mean, maybe I went to University of Cincinnati and it was not that expensive, but maybe at the time it was. But it was in-state. It wasn't that It wasn't terrible. What was expensive was I was a diva and I wiggled my way into a single dorm room, and that's like 10 times more expensive than any other dorm room. And my dad, luckily, was like,
money well spent.
Yeah, I needed that. I mean, it was so small. I could probably touch the 2 walls. It was basically just a bed, but to have that, my own little space.
I can't imagine sharing a room with a stranger, and especially that age where people are going to be their most disgusting
and most horny. Right before I got that single, I had to share a room with this poor guy. Like typical boy. He was like an Asian guy, very smart, like in engineering, had like posters of like Corvettes and like like probably posters from Spencer's, like women with big breasts and Corvettes. And I asked him if I could live with them because I was trying to get out of the room I was in with these 2 like like just these 2 jockey guys who I was so uncomfortable around because I'm just discovering I'm gay. Like I came out in that first semester of college.
And they're always like putting like sunscreen on each other's backs before a big volleyball game. Hey, John, you mind getting my lower back?
I wish I would have like stayed. I'd be like, we're getting an apartment next year, right, guys? No, God, the most embarrassing thing with them was, ironically, one of them's name was Matthew Gay, and I called him like before school started. I was that guy. I'm like, hey, we're gonna be roommates. Like, do you want to talk this out? They're like,
I prepared a questionnaire. What's your favorite food?
Do you kiss open mouth or closed? Do you like to hold hands?
Boxers or briefs used to be a lightly erotic question you could ask casually.
Used to be.
So
I called them in the middle of summer. It's like you can tell they're partying. They didn't care about me. And then so like we're roommates. Luckily, one roommate didn't come, and the room was divided into 2 sides with 2 beds on each side. They were on one side. I had my own side. But like one weekend, they were like gone for the weekend, and so like I snuck in onto their side to play their stereo because they had a really great stereo.
Yeah.
And I had it on so loud, and I was in my underwear, and I was like kind of just dancing around having
risky
fun.
business.
Probably. And the door opens, and they showed up, and I was like, I'm like, confused and gay and all this. And I'm like, oh my God.
Like
and
your soul leaves your body. Yes.
So I had to like find a new roommate. I asked this other guy if I like look around for an empty, like a bed. And I think his name was Wayne, if I could move with him. He's like, such a sweet guy who likes Corvettes. He's like, I guess. So he lets me move in. And this was... I was a big thrift. All my clothes were from the thrift store at this time. And I had bought these like clunky black shoes at the thrift store. They were not leather. They were rubber. Lord, did they smell. After like 2 days. Like, it's the only time I've ever had bad smelling feet. And like, it was like when I took those shoes off, it was like cartoon, like ghouls. like
some shoes, it's like if you've never had stinky feet in your life, there are some shoes where it's like get out of town.
Girls with jellies, I think. Jellies. It was like the same thing as jellies because it's just it's rubber. Nothing can get out.
Nothing can breathe. I've had some real stinky ballet flats. Especially like a cute little delicate shoe, like a little Audrey Hepburn shoe.
And it's like a skunk rag.
Yeah, it's a skunk rag.
And so this guy is too nice to even say anything. And he was on the bottom bunk. So I barge it. He's lived alone for like a month or 2. I move in with my stinky shoes. I like flip off my shoes, have to climb above him onto the top bunk. I'm laying in bed, and in my head, I'm like, man, that smells. I can smell my shoes.
No.
So I know he's suffering. So
were your toes dangling over the edge, like dancing to the music? Inches from his face?
Oh, I feel so bad for Wayne. I hope he's very successful.
I'm sure he's listening to the pod.
He's definitely listening to the pod.
Wayne.
Shout out to Wayne. So that's why he
he's cruising in a Corvette.
I hope so, with a big-breasted woman.
I'm sure he's an engineer. He's doing pretty well.
Maybe 2. He's like, it probably drives itself, and he's got a woman on each arm.
Yeah, he got a custom car with a steering wheel in the middle, so he can have a big-tittied woman on each arm.
You don't need a steering wheel in the middle. They drive themselves now.
That's true.
I mean, how old are you?
I don't trust those.
I don't either. Every day I'm driving around in a car, a humanless car goes by me.
Nope.
And I did see a food robot stuck on a pole 2 days ago in Glendale.
Yeah, you want your food to get to you slower? Great.
I'm looking on the app. The robot seems to be in front of Old Navy for like 30 minutes, right by a a light post. Wait, whatever poles we have now. A surveillance camera pole.
I think there's still television poles. Radio towers.
Okay.
The mall, summer. Yes, this is very.
Summer.
This is very evocative of summer. You got dropped. This was before phones. This is before pagers. Your mom.
It's not before phones.
Oh, cell phones.
Oh, okay.
Your mom. You wrote your mom a letter when you were ready to be picked up. She picked you up in
sent
2
her
days.
a telegraph.
You sent
Dear
her a
mom,
telegraph.
stop.
You would just get.
That's not a telegraph. That's Morse code. God. Okay. I think I haven't had coffee before show in a while. And there's no Baileys in it.
I wish Bailey's came back for
It
you.
will definitely
It'll
come
be
back.
Summer is great for Bailey's. Yeah, you got plunked off at the mall by your mom or a friend drove, and you wouldn't be back until dinner time to have your meatloaf and a glass of milk.
I had to earn my trips to the mall. So I would mow the yard, and we weren't rich, but we were in Ohio, so we had big yards.
yeah.
So like I would mow the yard to make money and to like finagle a ride to the mall. And yeah, they would
Sure.
just drop you off. It's like they did not care.
They did not care.
Did not care. Can I have $20 and can you drop me off at the mall? I need to be there by 3, Dad.
They would say, well, aren't you worried about like your kids getting kidnapped? It's like, good luck. Like, good luck. Try to take John.
There was a handful of people kidnapped back then. They were all put on milk cartons. One of our biggest fears was like not taking Tylenol from strangers and making sure your apple didn't have razor blades in it.
Don't get in anybody's van if they tell you they lost their dog.
Right.
This is you trained kids to not get kidnapped. We didn't like just protect them from kidnappers. We told kids like you will encounter kidnappers. They're
In
out
the same
there.
way we were told that we would encounter quicksand. Two things are going to happen. If you go into the woods, you will fall into quicksand. Do not struggle. You want to try to lay flat and you won't sink.
Yes.
And then when you get out, you're going to see a van that says free candy or free dogs with like kind of a cute mustached man.
Sure.
You're going to be tempted, John.
Don't get in
Not by
it.
the candy or the dog, but by the mustache.
Don't get in it. Have fun at the mall. Here's $10. Get yourself a corn dog. See a movie. Have the time of your life. I'll
And
see you
don't-
at dinner.
Don't steal or do. I don't know. I don't know what kids do.
It
these
was an
days.
easier time to be a parent. This is why it's so hard to be a parent now, is because people are working way too hard. I was thinking the other day about like how much shit I have to bring on an outing with the kids. Like so much food, so much water,
Yeah.
so many activities. Did we ever have, we didn't have water. We didn't have snacks.
No, but you know, back then, yeah, we had snacks because I was for a very short time, I think, on a soccer team. I know my sisters were, but parents had to bring all those little jugs. Remember the
Yeah.
little jug, blue and red jugs?
Yes.
It looked like a little barrel that had a
Those are
terrible
very
fruit
cute.
juice in it with like an aluminum foil lid.
Or a bag of oranges. Can I tell you, do you know what sports snacks are? This is a sidebar. Sports snacks. We played t-ball for one season. It used to be, because I played some team sports as a kid growing up. Parents would rotate taking a turn, and it would be, yes, a cooler of like Capri Suns, and then like some mom would chop up a bunch of oranges. And that was like the snack after the game. Now kids get a whole damn lunch bag. They are getting
A rotisserie chicken.
Are getting a rotisserie chicken. They're getting a 12-pack of
a
beer.
slim fast,
It is
a 40.
It is a bag with like 8 to 10 snacks in it, of like a full-size Gatorade, a turkey sandwich. It is
That's
crazy. It is crazy. You have to do that for
insane.
like 12 kids. And this is why we're tired, parents,
This
because
is
the
why you're-
bar is too high.
But you know what I'm going to say.
What?
You chose to have the children.
That's
so-
true. That's true.
If you are young, if you have not been in a Spencer's lately, if you do know what Spencer's Gifts is, it's basically a novelty store. You go in there to get like pop culture-y things. You go in to get like a Jaws beach towel, a breast-shaped pillow, a weird candle, incense. We'll get into all of that. It reminds me of, you know what it really reminds me of when I went there? It's like the dark version, and a lot of people might be too young for this. Did you watch Facts of Life?
Yeah. We can watch Facts of Life.
Facts of Life is probably why I live in California. I loved sitcoms. I loved Facts of
I
Life.
was ready to like abandon my family and like live at that school. What was her name?
Mrs. Garrett.
Garrett. Yeah, I was ready to take Mrs. Garrett on as my new mother.
Okay, fun Mrs. Garrett fact. At the Out of the Closet, which is a thrift store literally around the corner, 25 years ago, I found a coffee mug that in gold lettering said, "Merry Christmas, love Mrs. Garrett." It was like, I assume her like gift to
Her like crew gift.
Yeah.
Oh my God, tell me you bought it.
Yeah. I bought it. Do I still have it? I don't know. It could be in storage. I don't
in the
know. I hope I didn't get rid of that in the purge. So, and I wrote the Nancy McKeon fan club to tell her how much I loved her. And looking back, it's because she was basically a boy.
yeah,
But I
gay icon.
loved Nancy McKeon.
She was great. She was great.
So
I was a Tootie gal myself.
Tootie. Oh my God. I did an improv show where I did Bjork as a character and found out that Tootie was in the audience.
You couldn't tell, but from the sound of roller skates shifting back and forth in the seat.
The door opens and a bright light from outside. What is that? Who's on roller skates? God, I did. Tootie on roller skates was great. And Molly Ringwald was in the first season. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is in that show, it had several different phases. The first phase, they worked in a cafeteria at the school. Then they all grew up, but they wanted to keep the show going. So then Edna opened a store called Edna's Edibles, which today would be a pot store. But back then, it was like a French pastry shop.
Yes.
That burned down. And then they're sitting around. They're like, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to call it quits. And because they decided to open another store and it was going to be kind of like a fun, like gift gaggy shop in the 80s. And someone was like, I don't know if we should do this. We're just in it over our heads. And someone was like, that's what we're going to call it. And they called it Over Our Heads. And it was like a gag shop in the 80s where you're going to get like a inflatable flamingo or like a neon phone or things like that.
Very fun.
Spencer's is the evil version of Over Our Heads. Yes. It is just 8,000 dark, weird items.
Sure. Everything is a dildo. You think it's a can opener. It's actually a dildo.
Everything is a dildo. They sell...
You think it's a South Park poster? Honey, roll that up.
Dildo. You think that's Flamin' Hot Cheetos? That is 14 dildos.
Ouch.
Listen, I've had Vicks Vapor Rub, so I can probably handle it.
True.
So that's Spencer's. Okay, so why don't we get into Spencer Gifts? Do you have any, did you ever go to a Spencer? For me also, I think Spencer's Gifts is, and I'll call it that because that's what it's been. Okay, here's where my mind gets so freaked out. We'll get to it. They went through a rebranding in 2003, so it's been Spencer since then. I'm like, that was like yesterday. That was 22 years ago. 2003 was 22 years ago.
No, 2003 is 3 years ago.
Yeah. I'm like, that's new. And they're like, that's longer than some stores even last.
I hate it.
So it was also not just like when you were young for me. And again, I was gay, so I had a different experience because like back then being gay, it's like it was such a secret. And a place like Spencer's had penises and had things that a young, curious gay boy would be turned on by. And it's just in the mall. It's like right next to like Laura Ashley and like the San Francisco Music Box Shop. And it's like, but then it's like this weird black light day glow
It's like
store.
A portal to hell.
Yeah, you walk in, it's like, it smells like your neighbor's brother's bedroom. It's like sweaty and incense and like, everything it's like you were in somewhere illegal almost.
And it's funny because there's something so juvenile about it, but as a kid in there, you're 10, 11, 12 years old, again, ready to be kidnapped by anybody. Your parents know nothing of where you are.
Yeah.
You feel like this is what it's going to be like to be an adult.
Yes.
So you think like when I'm an adult, when I'm 22, when I'm out on my own, this is what my home is going to look like. This is the kind of stuff I'm going to be able to buy because I'm going to have my own money, working my fancy city job. It's kind of funny, but things that are marketed towards kids through the lens of being for adults, you know what I mean? Because no actual adult is going to Spencer's. But that was the appeal. It's like I read 17 magazine when I was 13. No actual 17-year-old is reading 17 magazine.
Right.
It's made to trick kids into thinking that this is like an alluring adult experience.
You'll get there.
You'll get there.
Don't worry. The funny thing is, I have a note later on, but I'll bring it up now. One of the things that they wanted to have in the store was stuff that you want to show your friend. Like you're like, oh my God, look at this. Isn't this crazy? When I was there 2 days ago, there was a group of 3 people, and I'm taking pictures of the disgusting t-shirts, which I will talk about in the X-rated version of this episode, who were, one of the boys was like flicking, there was like, it was almost like a bobblehead booby mug, and he's flicking the bugs, giggling, saying to his friends, look at this. Like, literally nothing has changed in 40 years.
They should charge admission. It should not even be a store where you can buy anything. It should just be like $5 to enter, and then like flick everything you want.
Well, if I'm in charge, it's $5 to enter. That gets you 10 flick tickets. And you can go around, you can flick like 10 things.
Is this one of those stores that has a no photographs? Because like sometimes you'll see like a wig store or like a fun hat store and they'll say like no pictures.
Unfortunately, there's no picture. I hope not. I was taking a lot of pictures and I kept waiting for the two teenagers working there to say, but they didn't care.
They didn't care, no.
They were climbing a ladder looking for a pillow or a bag for someone and couldn't figure out why there was 3 in stock and they couldn't find it. That's the funny thing about it too. It's like you're entering the depths of hell, but they greet you. They greeted me so nice. They're like, "Hey, welcome to Spencer's."
Wow, that's great.
I'm like, what?
And they were young. They were teens.
They were young, and they were the look. You know, studs and piercings and
but
it's in Glendale Galleria. It's like between the Lacoste store and Bloomingdale's.
It's the perfect crime.
It is because
you could tell your mom nowadays. Your mom is at the mall with you. You can say, "Oh, I'm going to Bloomingdale's. I'm going to go buy a new parfum."
Yeah,
and then she's like, "Okay, have fun."
Yeah,
little does she know.
You know, maybe I'll go see what they have at Lacoste.
I have been wanting to buy a new Cartman beanie.
Speaking of BBs, I did stop in Lacoste because they were having a sale, and I tried on their baseball hat. Their one size fits all baseball hat.
Rude.
That like cuts off like 2 inches above my ear. It looked like a beanie. She's like, "So what do you think?" And I was like,
Bazooka Joe's friend.
What?
Bazooka Joe's friend. Does he have a friend? She's
like, "So what do you think?" And I was like, I was honestly, I think Lacoste hates bigger people. She's like, no, it's not Lacoste. It's like, it's because they're from Europe. They
hate Americans.
She's like, just keep checking back. We'll get other hats. I'm like, okay. I'll come every Friday and see what the new hats are.
You have to send it to Alpal because he is always on the hunt for a hat that fits. He has to get hats from like the toddler department, Baby Gap.
But it's like, it's too high. It wasn't just like it was too small. It was just I don't know, it seemed too...
That's the problem for Al.
Shallow.
Hats like cover half of his ears.
Okay, well, go to Lacoste. All right, so Spencer's Gifts.
Tell me there's a Spencer.
Well,
this
there's
sick, wicked. Who is this twisted man?
You mean Max Adler?
Oh.
Wait, let me correct that. Max Spencer Adler.
Oh, that is a helpful correction. Is that his nickname or a middle name? What is that?
Okay, so Spencer's feels very, I mean, it's been around, but it feels new.
If you name your kid Spencer, the association with Spencer's to me is so, if I meet a child named Spencer, I'm like, you are setting them on a path
okay,
sinister.
Just to be fair, my ex-coworker who I said loved Funkos, who doesn't, and then corrected me and said he doesn't, his name is Spencer.
Oh, wow, ironically, I bet you can get a lot of Funkos at Spencer's.
Spencer?
Yeah.
We know you actually do love Funkos. Head over to Spencer's. Okay, so Max Spencer Adler, I'll probably just call him Max or Spencer or Adler. He's born in 1897.
No.
1897.
No, he was born in 1971.
He was born precisely 100 years before the release of the motion picture Titanic.
I can't believe that.
100 years before.
I can't believe it.
I don't have a bunch on his like childhood. He ends up in the U.S. Army Corps. Is C-O-R-P-S Corps or Corpse?
Corps?
Army Corps.
I don't know.
This is one we should know.
I always get that too. You know, draft beer. You know how it's like spelled weird?
D-R-A-U-G-H-F-P-T? Yeah, I do know.
I get that with that one too.
Something like that. And I can never spell Wednesday. All right, so 1897, I don't know much about him. He ends up in the Army Corps. He's part of a bomber crew in World War II.
He takes a look at that bomber. He goes, you know what that kind of looks like? A dildo.
That's good. Well,
he was really far away, so he was seeing it. It looked smaller, and he was like, okay, imagine a store.
We're not there yet.
Oh.
First, he has to get shot down.
Oh.
He gets shot down and captured and held prisoner by the Nazis.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so...
Wow.
Keep going with your dildo jokes.
Well, that really, an experience like that will really put life into perspective. You think, I do not want to spend one day of this precious life not doing what I love.
Without a dildo.
Without a dildo. Selling dildos to teenagers.
I love that I hate it when you're dirty, and then I do this brand, and I can't say anything.
What did you expect?
It's like free reign. So he's eventually freed, and he returns to America after the war. And we've talked in many episodes that took place during during the 40s and 50s, like what happened to them during the war. So many of them had to redirect. You had so many different materials that were being rationed. They couldn't produce things because they could only use those materials for war. Some of them started producing things for the war. Some of them shut down. Well, this guy's coming back at a completely different time. So the war's over. So those restrictions are off the limits.
Wow.
Americans are kind of like, they were also having to kind of ration their money. Now there's like a little bit less guilt about spending a little more freely. Companies can make things without being so serious about it. Toy companies can go back into production.
Great.
So Adler's just coming back to a country that has different rules and a whole different mindset. It's 1947, and he, along with the help of his brother, decide to capitalize on like this whole new vibe that's going on in the country. And they decide to create a gag gift mail order business that they call Spencer's Gifts Mail Order Incorporated.
That's fun. That really represents the salad days. You know, after rationing your rubbers and your metals, it's like we have such a surplus of materials that we're going to make little teeth. You wind them up and they chomp, chomp, chomp. We're going to use that rubber for a whoopee cushion. That's fun.
God, it is. Yeah, those are the fun things. Definitely the things I had both of those things as children, by the way. I definitely had a whoopee cushion. I was never great at like slipping that in. Like I wasn't that kind of jokester.
I'm convinced the whoopee cushion prank has never been successfully executed.
I would do like dumb jokes. I wouldn't do like the salt shaker, like loose lid joke. I remember one joke I would do. I don't know if you've ever bought au gratin potatoes.
Yeah.
Where you make them and their potatoes already sliced, but they look like a potato chip, but they're
like dehydrated
really hard.
Potatoes, yeah.
I would put those in a bowl and just pretend there was potato chips, and then someone would break a tooth, and I'd be
Wait, at like a party?
no, at like my family kitchen table. And I got like, gotcha.
Your mom has got the pot roast on the table, and you're like, I'm gonna put a lot of little snack. Okay, John, you're rustling around in the pantry. Mom, where's that medium-sized bowl? Oh, it's right here.
Mom's like, God, I'm so tired after a long day. Nothing would sound better than a crisp potato chip.
Made a little Lipton onion dip on the side.
Exactly.
That's really cute.
So
harmless prank.
The catalog that they make, it's full of things that nobody needs. But, you know, keep in mind, this is, now we would look at this and be like, yeah, we've seen this stuff for 100 years. Back then, this stuff is so novel. It's kind of like in comic books back then, and we've seen it in like A Christmas Story, like little kids in the back of their books, they would find like Dakota rings or like army men or things like that. They would be like 25 cents or whatever. It was kind of supposed to be like that, but for adults. So it's like $3 things instead of 25-cent things,
fun.
but like things that people might want for their office or their home or the garden or like it. There was, I looked at several of the old catalogs. There was like a couple pages of really nice dresses. Like it was just kind of all over the place.
Okay.
All over the place. But people loved the catalog. Like it was incredibly successful. So with the success of it, he got really emboldened to move into an unconventional category.
Okay, here we go.
What would that be? Live animals.
No.
Live animals. In 1953, Adler ran a full-page ad in the Spencer's Gift catalog declaring that there was a new trend in domestic pets.
Oh, I love announcing your own idea as a trend.
Me too.
That's bold.
It is not a pet rock. That's like 20 years down the road. It's not a fish because who cares about a fish? It's not a cat or a dog. Been there.
Been there. Done.
Done that. What does everybody want? A donkey.
Oh.
A donkey.
My mom had a donkey.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
What? Your mom had a donkey. Okay. Beep.
She'll listen to this in like 4 months.
She's like, I don't remember drinking anything called a donkey. Okay, so this is how they wait. Should we explore this?
I mean,
my mom had a pet skunk. She lived on a farm and had the stinker taken out and had a pet skunk.
Moms used to just get weird pets back then.
You're like, are you sure you don't want a rabbit? A donkey. Only
Also,
a
too,
donkey.
like if I told my mom, like we were gonna like foster these kittens like temporarily, and my mom was like, "Think about that. That is a lot of work. It's like you don't know. Do you have the time? Do you have the energy? Do you have the space?" I'm like, "You asked your parents for a donkey, and they like got you one, like a donkey on your premises." And I'm saying like 3 kittens like in a box in like the bathroom, and she's like, that's a lot of work. I'm like,
3 kittens is psychotic.
they were so cute.
I'm sure kittens are. Cats
Donkeys
aren't
are
always
cute, too.
Cats are cute, but I feel like why can't they stay kittens for like 30 years?
30. Yeah, good point.
All right, so this is how Spencer's tried to sell the donkey. This was from the full page ad. You'll be the talk of the town.
That's for sure.
No, we're not fooling. These are real, honest to goodness, very much alive Mexican burros.
If you say very much alive, I'm assuming it's a Weekend at Bernie's, eyeballs glued open.
No, these are alive. I've saw pictures.
Okay.
You'll be the talk of the town because everybody will be wondering where you found anything so cute. And everybody will be wanting to pet them. The gang at Spencer's fell in love with these little adorable animals and wants you to be the happy owners of one or a pair.
Oh, it seems like you need a pair of donkeys. You don't want like one lonely donkey.
So you want us to sell just one donkey? Try to push 2. Try to put a discount if they get 2.
20% off the second one.
Babies are small enough for the backseat of your car. You'll be a
That's not very small. So, like,
especially back then, cars were huge.
I know. To say that that's like not tiny.
KFC can make a chicken in only 8 minutes, and you can fit a burro in the back of your gigantic car.
Baby donkey can fit in the back seat of your car, not like in your lap.
Not in like your fruit bowl.
How big are donkeys?
There'll be pictures in the supplementals.
Okay, great. I can't wait. I feel like I need a donkey. I would like to be the talk of the town.
You'll be a sensation. They'll soon become one of the family. Lovable, extra tame, baby Mexican burros, about the size of a medium dog. They'll soon learn to follow you. The more you teach it, the more it will learn. The more you pet it, the tamer it becomes. We know a pair that was trained to bring in the morning paper. You'll enjoy the antics for years to come because they live about 25 years. Suitable to ride. Or pull a small cart or wagon.
Okay.
Useful to plow the garden when they are fully grown.
You're selling me on a donkey. This is like why advertising is dangerous for me, is I'm like drafting a conversation in my mind to David to say, okay, I know it's going to sound crazy. You know how much you hate bringing in the morning paper? He's going to go, what are you talking about?
I have 2 words for you. Hee-haw, hee-haw.
Oh, imagine the kids riding on. Okay, so
That's
keep
a donkey,
going.
right? That's a donkey,
Yeah, hee-haw, hee-haw.
Select stock, no reject animals, not skinny or...
no returns. All sales final.
No, not skinny or weak. They are healthy, well-fed, fat, and clean. Cheap to raise as they will eat almost anything, including candy, for a treat.
Oh, only for a treat, kids.
Love grass, so they'll mow your lawn. Great gift all year.
Gift. Can you imagine being gifted a donkey?
Well, the last thing. Order now for Christmas gifts. Mom, Dad, what's that smell? Well, let's go see what Santa brought. 12 donkeys.
Oh my gosh. I've told you the story about Kirstie Alley. She gave everybody a bird on the set of Veronica's Closet.
She gave everybody a bird done. She gave everybody a burden.
I bet bird is short for burden.
I mean, what? How out of touch? I mean, God, okay, she's a complicated ride. I loved her in Cheers. Loved her in Cheers.
I loved her. I watched Veronica's Closet. Okay. I stayed with her on her whole journey.
Was Kathy Griffin in that? Or no, she was in Suddenly Susan.
Suddenly Susan.
Loved her in Cheers. Saw her once at the Americana, and we had like a... It was like we both were like looked at each other like we recognized each other and smiled. I was like, girl, you know me too? And then she died like months later.
Well, I saw you on Cheers. Where did you see me?
You didn't see me beat 60 Minutes in the Emmys, did you? Give me my bird.
That is so funny. Yes, for the crew gift at Veronica's Closet, sometimes the star of the show will give like a polo fleece or a hat or a mug to the crew. And she gave every member of the crew a caged bird. And then by the end of the night, there was somebody on the crew who like knew birds, and it was just like stacks and stacks of cages filing into the back of their SUV to try to figure out what the hell to do with these things.
Oh my
How
God.
out of touch.
That
so
is
funny.
So insane.
A donkey might have been worse.
A donkey would probably be a little more complicated. There's just like hundreds of loose donkeys running around LA. That's how we ended up with the parrots.
That's
a lot of
true.
people don't know this, but we have wild, especially in Pasadena.
Beautiful green squawky ass parrots.
Squawky ass
It's like,
parrots.
you know, you can fly without screaming. Like, imagine if like every time you walked, you had to be screaming. They'll be like in a tree, still and quiet, eating. They eat these, there's like a China berry tree in front of my mom's house and the parrots love it. And then they'll be like so pretty. And then they all take off and it's like the worst sound you've ever heard.
Times 100.
Times 100.
They descended on like the Avatar campus one day when I was there. For one day, we just had 1,000 green screaming parrots. But they're so beautiful.
They're really beautiful.
So the donkeys, the burros, cost $85 for a male, $95 for a female.
That's like a lot.
Okay. You know how much that is?
How much?
$1,000.
Too much. I'm out.
$1,000 today.
I'll only take one if it's free.
Yeah, I'm only taking
If somebody
free
on
donkey.
Nextdoor is saying like free donkey, baby donkey
That might be something I actually turn down.
on your Buy Nothing group.
Yeah. I'll take your 1,000-piece puzzle. I don't have a place to do it.
Did you get a puzzle?
I have. I've gotten a puzzle because it was Charlie Harper.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in storage.
Sure.
So the following year, 1954, Life magazine does a write-up on the new donkey scene.
Wait, to be clear, there was no donkey scene until this marketing
You'll
ploy.
hear. They reported on a donkey named Cisco who arrived by train in Scarsdale, New York. He is now the new pet for siblings Phil and Bobby Hogan, ages 5 and 3, lives in a heated garage and is hand-fed every morning and carefully brushed every afternoon.
Wow.
Then he is used to give rides to Phil and Bobby and their 2 older sisters and all of their friends.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's quoted, "There is a boom in burros as pets for the U.S. children. The boom began last spring when the Spencer Gifts Company advertised Mexican burros at $85 and has been selling them
Unreal.
at a rate of 40 a day."
Wait, what year is this?
1954.
Okay, this might be where my mom got the donkey because my mom was born in 1948.
This is definitely where your mom
And
got
this
the
track,
donkey.
okay, can we pause for a second so I can ask my mom about the donkey?
Yeah.
Okay, she says it wasn't just our donkey.
Oh, God.
It was a pretty close family type of situation. They got the donkey when he was a baby. He just ran loose all around the ranch like a pet, so he kind of belonged to all of us. Not sure when they got him, but it was late 50s, early 60s, so I'm sure it was inspired by the donkey craze.
Did
of the
you mention
50s.
Spencer's?
Yes, I did.
And she wasn't like, that sounds familiar.
You know, I think because she was a kid, like you're a kid, you don't know where shit comes from.
Yeah.
A donkey appeared and she was happy. She probably wrote it to school.
We'll just say she's part of the story.
I think she is.
And so Life magazine goes on to say that though the burro is mostly very placid, it has become so accustomed to having people around it that if it is left alone for too long, it brays for company.
Oh, no.
I had never heard. Do you know the word brays?
Yeah, it's a hee-haw.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
Like, brays literally is the loud, harsh cry of a donkey or mule. It's like so specific. I was like, what's braying?
I don't think I knew that.
It
that
is
word
so specific.
before. Wow. Oh my gosh.
And then the article ended, and I love this. I love the sentiment. I love the visual. I love this is what 1954 was. The children hope to ride Crisco to school one day.
Wait, as soon as you said giving the kids rides around the neighborhood, I was imagining my children riding to school on a donkey. They'd be so popular.
Popular. You're gonna be popular.
That song is playing as they're double saddled up
Hee-haw.
on a donkey.
Hee-haw. They paint them green.
Hurry, we're gonna be late. Yeah, yeah.
Talk about clip. We're bringing clip
Clip
clop back.
clop. Wow.
Wow, these were clip clop days.
They were.
So now it's 1960, and Spencer's Gifts has moved all of their mail order and fulfillment operations to Atlantic City, New Jersey. Harry, his brother, sells his share to him and leaves the company. So now the company's completely Max's.
Wow.
1963, Max decides to open the first Spencer's Gifts physical location in Cherry Hill Mall in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That location, fun fact, still there today.
Wow.
Been there since 1963. That's like 60 plus years.
That is incredible.
That's
a
incredible.
mall in New Jersey feels like a really good origin story for this brand.
Absolutely.
This is perfect.
And brick and mortar stores were really an ideal place for Spencer's, what they were trying to do. It allowed, like, that was a Freudian slip.
What?
I have written down, it allows curious people to wander around and check things out, but I almost said it allows perverts to walk around.
I know, you were right. It does allow perverts to walk around.
It allowed perverts a place to shop freely in the
Sure.
mall. It also allowed them to do, like, in-store demonstrations with the dildos, I guess.
Demonstrating what?
This is how you're going to want to use this.
I was going to say, I know I bought lava lamps from Spencer's.
I mean, that is what I associate a lot with Spencer's. And I have in the storage unit a lava lamp collection.
You went through a really strong lava lamp
It was
phase.
when I worked at Avatar. I had disposable income. I think by the time I left there, on like the side table by my desk, I had like 6 lava lamps flowing at all times. It was beautiful and very Avatar.
Very Avatar. The one thing I miss about having a desk, like at an office, is it feels
Tchotchkes.
you can tchotchkes are free flowing. Like everything that you get as like a weird gift, and you're like, well, where do I put this? Like your desk. It's the perfect. Like I would even take a Funko Pop.
Yeah,
if I had a desk.
Funko Pops are for office
They're for
desks.
desks.
Try sitting next to my seatmate Maria. She was like, she loved cute things, so she would have like, you know, that little sleeping egg yolk toy,
Yeah.
or like just like a hamster like watching TV. Like she just had so many little bits and
funny,
bobs.
weird, like whimsical things. Yeah, to
Yeah.
just like distract you from your
Exactly.
cubicle.
And like I said earlier, they wanted to have things in the store that people wanted to look at and to show other people and to laugh about. They wanted
Yeah.
it to be like a fun place to go.
Great place for a white elephant gift.
Oh my God. Maybe not now, but like then, yeah. Now it's
yeah, I
like,
think so.
I mean, no, actually, yeah, now. I
A
keep
roll of
wanting,
toilet paper that looks like cash.
Yeah, exactly. Or that was back in the 80s, they probably sold, there was a period where places like that sold like colored toilet paper.
Oh, yeah, that was
and
fun.
that is what I would look at as like, okay,
You've made it.
when I get my corporate
That's
job.
what I mean. You think,
Yeah.
when I'm rich, I'm going to have pink toilet paper.
I'm going to have, okay, you pink. I was going to have like burgundy. I was going to have like a rich color.
Burgundy.
Burgundy or navy.
You're wiping your ass with burgundy toilet paper?
Yeah. And I'm going
Okay.
to have a gold toilet paper roll. All right. So throughout the mid 60s, Adler continues to open stores and he's keeping the mail order catalog going. In 1967, Spencer's Gifts gets the attention of the entertainment company Music Corporation of America. You may know it better as MCA. Does that sound
okay, yeah,
familiar?
yeah.
There was like MCA, RCA, it was, you know. And MCA at the time was a movie and TV distribution company. They also did like music publishing and they made records. So they were heavily in the entertainment world. And the president, Les Wasserman, believed that merging with a place like Spencer's Gifts would give them an opportunity to work on home entertainment. Like they could have their properties that they make with their main company and through retail sell those things for people
Very
at
smart,
home.
yeah.
Very, very smart. So on April 20th, 1968, Spencer's Gifts and MCA merge. Max Adler is kept on as the chairman of the board for Spencer's Gifts, and he's made a corporate vice president of MCA to develop a special marketing division for MCA. The whole point of that was for him to figure out new ideas for direct marketing of different consumer products. So he's, you know, done pretty well going from being a prisoner of Nazis to creating this gag shop to now a VP at MCA.
Wow. Good for him.
Good for him. So when MCA acquired this property, keep in mind, they're a huge entertainment company. So now with retail and mail order in their portfolio, that's a very small chunk of it.
Sure.
It's like 8% of the company. But they are going into it with the goal of major expansion. So when they acquire it, they have about 60 stores. In 1969, MCA decided they also didn't want to put all of their eggs. They were like on a retail kick at this moment. They didn't want to put all their eggs in Spencer's. So they started another, which to me feels like almost the same kind of store as Spencer's, called Intrigue, which was a gift shop for young people. I guess that's how it's different, because I do think at the time they wanted Spencer's to be for slightly older people.
Yes.
And this was for a younger set. Their big motto is they want to sell trends and not fads.
Oh,
So,
interesting. I like that.
I do too. It's kind of like, I mean, that's kind of what people are doing now. I feel like on like social media and stuff, it's all about trends and not necessarily fads.
Hard to tell which is which, Labubu.
Why did I ever do that episode? Labubu? It's like the curse of
haunting you.
Labubu. I get so many Labubu's in my feed and Labubu's, and I have friends now. I have 2 friends. I won't say who, Stephanie and Tiffany, who are like buying Labubu's. I'm worried about them.
You're haunted. Well, I think what we're going to find out is that they actually are demonic.
They are.
And that's
They
how
have a hold on people. I think they
have a hold on
like come to
people.
life in the middle of the night. Their teeth do something and they take your soul.
Have any of those ladies woken up with little bite marks on their legs?
9 little points.
On their ankles?
Yeah, that's how you can tell if a vampire visited or a Labubu. Was it 2
Exactly.
puncture marks or 9?
There you go.
They described, or it was described in an article I read, that they sold brightly colored, psychedelic, pop art inspired merchandise. So it sounds, for young people, very
Yes.
much up my
For
alley.
sure.
But they would also have a nostalgic appeal for older people. So that's for like you and David.
Yeah, right.
They would have inflatable furniture, like butterflies in like a clear cube, incense, candles.
Blacklight posters.
Blacklight poster. Actually, this was probably blacklight posters. They talked a lot about, they sold a lot of things out of cans. Like you could buy a can that had playing cards in it or like a Venus flytrap. Probably, I don't know if this is appropriate anymore, Mexican jumping beans.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if, I feel like, do we
You
call
can't
them?
say Mexican jumping beans anymore.
I don't know. It's probably like mobile beans of a different country. I remember having those
How
as a
did
kid.
they jump?
There was a freaking worm in them.
No.
When I learned that as a kid, that I was like sleeping. I mean, I don't know if I slept with my Mexican
sleeping
jumping
with your
beans, but
beans.
I had him on my desk, and then I found out it was just a trapped
Ew,
worm.
gross.
Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah.
Some little kid.
Some little kid is eating
Pull over, Mom.
eating spaghetti and playing with their jumping beans. No country of origin specific jumping beans, and they're just sad now. Set the worm free.
That's too long for a chant. This is why I never asked you to come to rallies with me. Free the worm. Free the worm.
Sure, free the worm might be a little tighter.
And they opened the store in a suburban area instead of an urban area because they wanted it to be in a shopping center. So they were really able to take, okay, this is a whole like American moment. This is when the American mall boom is really about to take place.
Ooh.
Oh.
Give me a sweltering summer day. You walk in the whoosh of the doors. You are blasted with 68-degree.
The scent
Comfort.
of the food court has traveled down past American Eagle, past Chess King shoes, past, oh no, it was Wild Pear shoes, Chess King, all the stores.
Oh my-
Back when Banana Republic sold safari clothing, back when the boy porn store sold normal clothes.
Pop in for a movie. A ticket costs $3.
You went to Al Bon Pont at the food mark?
Ooh, if you're really feeling fancy.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to get, I don't know, I'm in the mood for a crepe or a croissant. Let's head over
My
to...
go-to mall food court meal, there was like a bourbon chicken. Do you remember bourbon chicken was a food court thing?
No, that
It was
must have been
kind of
West
like
Coast.
a sweet glazy kind of chicken. There would be somebody with like free samples on toothpicks.
Oh, my fave.
And
I'm like,
it was
can
good.
I just come with my own bun?
You could come with your own bun and pile it up. But there was also like a cafeteria style spaghetti place that I loved at the mall.
Wait, not Sbarro.
No, it was like where you take the tray and go down the line.
God, I definitely went through a period. That's Sbarro, that weird, like, it had crust on top and bottom, and inside had like broccoli and cheese. It was
Crust
like,
on top and bottom.
it was like a
Calzone?
pie, not a
Oh.
calzone, but no, it was cut like a pizza slice.
Ooh.
I forget. It had a name,
That
but
sounds
you could either get it in
good.
like sausage, pepperoni, or broccoli, and I very often liked the broccoli.
Broccoli cheddar. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yummy. My mom sent me a picture of her donkey. It is very cute. She said her dad named him Stanley. She said, my dad named him Stanley. Hee-haw. He was a good pet. Spencer's got that right. There you go.
That's very cute.
Stanley the donkey.
Okay, so we're in the explosion of the malls. It's the 70s and 80s. I found this little excerpt from 1974 that described a Spencer's Gifts just to kind of give you a visual of what's going on now. It says Spencer Gifts is what putting it all together really means. Through a unique combination of the unusual, the funky, the latest trend, the zany, and the most basic gadget, Spencer's presents an environment to turn on all age groups.
Oh, okay.
Enter the world of...
I don't really like that.
I'm turning on teens and elderly men.
Not so sure about that, but okay. Whatever sells, honey. You know what market isn't an untapped demographic to turn on? Teens. No, thank you, sir.
Adolescents.
Yep.
Wait, so we're turning on everyone. We
Everyone.
are turning on everyone.
Yes, equal opportunity.
Enter the world of Spencer Gifts, and you are greeted by an attractive decor, a pulsating world of color, and an aura of the exotic.
That is true.
Sparked by the fragrant scent of candle soaps and incense. Is there anything more 70s? Of course, it's going to smell like candle soaps and incense. So they spend the 70s on a very solid growth track. By 1979, this is only 10 years earlier, they had 60 stores. They now have 356 stores.
Wow. Do you think like in more conservative communities, there was like protesting outside of Spencer's?
Oh, we have a Huizinga thing down at the bottom. Yes, there definitely were. There's been different cities where they got in trouble for some cities you have to have like an adult novelty license or like they're trying to get away with certain things. There's definitely been...
Hey ho, these dildos have to go.
Okay, you're getting better. Your dildos have to go inside me.
45 moms, all with science.
Me just always are saying inside me because I'm on Team Spencer. All right, so there's tons of stores, and now there's a whole new synergy between MCA and Spencer's and pop culture. So when they would see something at Spencer's was like selling really well, they would decide to Spencerize it.
Whoa.
What does that mean?
Tell me.
I'm sorry, Angela. It's a collab. So let's say like in the 80s, what's popular? E.T. It's a Universal property that's part of MCA. What's popular? Rubik's Cube. What do we make? An E.T. Rubik's Cube.
This is genius.
It's a collab.
We don't like the word synergy, but when that can all happen in-house too under the same umbrella, it's like there's a lot of great opportunity to make some good cash there.
It's so smart. So during the late 1980s, Spencer Gifts is operating their mail order business and Spencer Gift stores and kiosks. And now their Intrigue stores have been rebranded as a jewelry store. I do not know how it got from an eccentric pop culture store to a jewelry store. I
mean, maybe like belly button rings.
I know.
What kind of jewelry?
It was a little confusing. I did a mild research on it. There's not a ton on it. There's a whole other store that they do that I'll talk about in a minute that I could find almost nothing on.
Weird.
But I hate saying stuff like that because I brag about my Emmy so much. I feel like there's going to be a freak that's like, actually, right here. Not that I think that way about the freaks at all. No one's been like that. But in my like insecurity of wanting to be the best researcher,
sure.
I don't want to be like
that. We will issue a correction if somebody is able to scrape. No, somebody don't have to be like my uncle ran their other store. Yeah.
All right, so so this is kind of staggering.
Okay.
So like I said, so MCA, they've got now retail and mail order, but it's this very small part of their business. But in 1986, MCA's retail and mail order revenue was $115 million. Oh
my God.
1 year later, it was down to $9.5 million.
What?
1 year later, in 1988, it's down to $403,000.
What's happening?
I don't know. And Spencer's is just part of that. That's not all just Spencer's, but it is like tanking.
That is really shocking. Like,
well,
what
it's
could
also
that be?
the 80s is also like there was like consumer trends were changing. There was yuppies coming in. People were wanting more upscale things. So we'll get to that in a minute. That's a part of the reason why I think Spencer's had some issues.
There's always horny teens.
There's always horny teens.
I'm so confused.
That's literally that was our original logo for the show. On brand with Jon and Marisa, there's always horny teens.
That is so, I feel like there needs to be like an FBI investigation into what happened. What was happening culturally?
For someone who thinks that NASA's wasting money, I feel like maybe that's not where we need to put all of our priorities. And why Spencer's did poorly in the 3 years in the mid 80s. But you spend your budget the way you want to.
Could we peel off $2 million? I think so.
Babe,
peel
you could buy.
off.
Do you know how many donkeys you could get for $2 million?
That's a really good point.
You would never have to mow the yard or get the paper again.
That's a really good point.
1988, MCA is like, you know what? We got to ditch mail order. They try to sell it. Nobody's buying.
Did you love ordering something from a catalog in the mail?
No, I never did.
That little box, filling out that little envelope, putting your little check inside.
I never did it. I don't think I ever did the buy 12 records, get one free, or
for a penny.
Buy one for a penny, get 12 free. I never did those. I was not a mail order thing. I remember driving with my dad when I was a kid. And I forget why we were talking about. He's like, one day we're going to do all of our shopping on a computer. And I was like, oh, Dad, this is because of how much I love malls. I was like, oh, I would hate that. I love going to the mall.
Sure.
And now, obviously, my dad was right.
I think it's going back. It's
you
going
know
back.
what? This just made me think of this.
What?
You know what the cutest thing my dad used to do?
What?
Now I'm going to cry.
Aw.
This isn't even like a sad thing, but it was so sweet. I don't know why it just popped into my head.
What?
He would be like, you know what? I can make the moon move. And like he he would have me look at the moon, and he would just like kind of move the car a little bit, and I would open my eyes, and it would be somewhere else. And I was like, oh my God, you can move the moon.
That's very like Spielberg. That's really, really, really sweet. Classic dad. Dad's so powerful. He can move the moon.
Thank you for being kind about it. Not being like, so you were a dumb kid. That's probably what I would have said to you. So you and your donkey mom weren't smart.
That's very sweet. That would be in the like opening scene of the Spielberg movie before Dad the astronaut goes off and dies in space.
Yeah. If a dad says that in the movie, he has less than 12 minutes to live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't get too attached to this
It's going to
character.
cut to his funeral.
Daddy, I don't want you to go to space. Honey, you don't have to worry about me.
That just made me think of a sketch I did at UCB once that I really enjoyed. I was an astronaut, and the opening line is, I open the door and say, guess who's home from space? It always got a big laugh.
You as an astronaut. I would love that.
A gay astronaut? Are we
Has
even
there been
allowed?
one?
I don't
think
know.
gays are too smart to be astronauts. Can you think of anything that
You
sounds
hate
worse?
everything about NASA and space.
I have a theory. We were watching a space movie last night. I don't think there will be astronauts. I think they'll just be robots. I think would be too. Why would you send a person up there? Send a robot up there.
Yeah, we're sending robots to bring me fried chicken. Why are we sending human beings into the most
Human life.
fragile?
Like dads are saying goodbye to their 8-year-old children, giving them a little toy rocket ship. Look up at the moon every night. I'm up there. Honey, that could be a Waymo. Okay?
We don't use humans to drive us or bring us food anymore.
Exactly.
But we will send them into the most fragile environment.
The most fragile environment where we have to give them like, they have to pee in a special bag. We have to turn their poop into dirt. We have to like have enough like little dehydrated ice cream sandwiches for them. We have to make sure we have enough oxygen. Send a robot. Robots don't poop. Robots don't eat. Robots don't breathe. Send them up there. If they die, big deal. Another one's coming down the factory assembly line.
Robots don't poop seems like it would be an Oprah book of the summer. So that's something very deep.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're getting real.
Yes. Now.
It's 1989.
Oh, God, what a year.
You know what year that is?
What
The year Taylor Swift
was
is born. So for most of the part I'm talking about right now, Andrea Swift is pregnant with Taylor.
She's going in her Lamaze classes.
In her first trimester?
She's preparing.
She's got a baby bump. She's not hee-haw. Oh my God, the donkey, Taylor.
Wait, Donkey Lamaze. Hee-haw. Hee-haw. Donkey Lamaze. I don't know what to do with that. Take that.
You know what
Someone
Donkey
take
Lamaze
it.
would be? It would be on a t-shirt at Spencer's. You're like, I don't get it, but it must be a thing. Donkey Lamaze. And it would just be like a donkey with spread legs with a disgusting...
That can honestly be the cartoons, the level of humor that is required for an AARP cartoon, that could be in there.
I think Donkey Lamaze is Hello Sharks.
I think it's good.
All right, so 1989, like I said, Taylor Swift is on her way. They now have 435 stores. So it's up almost another, whatever that is, 80
Do you think it's
stores.
related to Taylor
Taylor?
Swift being conceived?
I don't.
Do you think when she was conceived, like everybody at their dinner tables there was a little like...
I do.
And it was like, oh, is it garbage day? What's that big rumble going? And a big truck went by. It was like, that was the moment.
Did the neighbors get a new donkey? No. Something else. Something else is happening.
No, they just got rid of their donkey, actually, because it's a bad pet.
All right, so MCA cannot sell mail order, so what else can they do? They try to figure out how to save it. By 1989, the mail order catalog scene is changing, and Spencer's is getting hit by it.
Oh.
We have higher postage.
Oh.
We have changing consumer trends. There's yuppies on the scene. They want fancy stuff. They do not want dog poo paperweight.
Yeah, fair.
There's higher wages. There's more competition. For the I keep saying yuppies. I don't know what else to call them.
That we're anti-yuppie.
Yeah, yuppie. It was like Alex P. Keaton versus his parents. We all know it.
It's so funny. I feel like, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but like yuppies used to be like the enemy.
Yeah.
And like now everybody wants to be rich. Selling out used to be like the worst thing you could do. And then we're like, we'll shill anything.
We'll sell burpee seeds. Yeah, we'll absolutely
People
sell
like
them.
musicians didn't want to like perform on Saturday Night Live because they were like, that's selling out. Like, I'm not going to like be in a commercial. I'm not going to be like promoting anybody else's thing. I'm an artist.
Movie stars wouldn't do television, and now White Lotus. We get it. Everything's okay.
It's wild.
But for those yuppies that did want upscale things, you know what catalog they're grabbing? Not Spencer's Gift. Sharp.
LL Bean.
Per Image. LL Bean is on the list. J. Crew is on the list.
Yes.
And in 1990, Sky Mall.
Okay, dibs on Sky Mall.
No, I had forgotten about it. I was like, okay, Sky Mall. I've already done a little research.
Okay, you can.
Maybe you can have
I'll get
it.
Sharper Image.
No. Sharper, they're both good.
They're both good.
Because I used to go to the Sharper. That was a story you go to the mall. That's where I got my massages until I could
Free
afford
massage.
a massage. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, is Taylor Swift being born? And so Spencer's, this is the store. So Spencer's tries to stay relevant during all this change. They introduce a whole new catalog and shop called A to Z. How like 80s, 90s is that?
I love it.
A to Z.
So fun.
And it's supposed to be the best of everything. It's supposed to be like higher end products. There's a $400 picture phone, a $200 neon phones. If you don't know, phones were a very big thing in the 80s.
That is very expensive.
Yeah.
$400 in the 80s?
Yeah.
That is insane.
I know. That's what they wanted it to be. They had a $70 inflatable raft with toy machine guns.
Oh, okay.
Now, the thing is, so these things are expensive, so they scratch that itch, but they're also still kind of unnecessary.
Kitschy and gimmicky. Yeah, sure.
And why is that not good? Because by the late 1980s, 50% of American women are now in the workforce.
Boo. Let us stay home
Stay
and
at home.
eat bonbons.
Look at Andrea Swift. She's pregnant and at home. These women are busy. I'm picturing like working girl. If you're in the city,
Yeah.
you're like in a business suit, but Reeboks and you're like running to work and then slipping into your
You're
pump
shoving an Eggo waffle into your kid's mouth, tossing them on the school bus.
and scooting them out the door to get on the bus. Like you're a busy woman. So
Yeah.
that is good in the sense that they are open to using catalogs to shop because they no longer have time to go to the mall, but they need those catalogs to have things they need and not just things they want.
That makes sense. Time is money.
Time
These are power player.
is money.
I love that.
They don't need edible panties. If you give them to me, I'll eat them like a fruit roll-up. All right, so March 1989, MCA is wanting to cut some fat from the business. Spencer's moves all the mail order from Atlantic City to Williamsburg, Virginia. The reason they do that is because there's a ton of people there that are able to work and they can work for a lot less than the people in New Jersey. So 400 people in Atlantic City lose their jobs. The local newspaper does a story on it. They talk about this woman named Gloria Brooks who had worked at Spencer's mail order for 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
I was thinking about that. That is literally like the movie Back to the Future. She started, this is now in the 80s. She started there in the 50s.
Oh,
so she like goes it's that whole time period.
wild.
So this is what I thought was kind of cool. In the article, they talk about all the things that Spencer's tried to do to help the people they were laying off. They got laid off on a Wednesday. On Monday, they were invited back for a 2-week employmentability workshop where it was basically to teach people how you find a job in 1989.
Sure, because the world is completely different. Wow.
They had a casino job fair because casinos are very big there. So
Yeah.
all the like main players from all the casinos came in, helped with applications. If you wanted to work at a casino, they had a non-casino job fair, which had a lot less people because it's a very like casino heavy town.
Wow.
They had guest speakers that came in and talked about how you manage stress, financial planning, how to deal with Social Security.
They're just doing this like to be nice for all their employees?
Yes, it's kind of insane.
That is crazy.
They were able to use, at the time, the government had a thing called the Job Training Partnership Act, and that helped pay for workshops. It paid for job training. So they did all of these things. And the woman that they talked to, Gloria, was like, honestly, like they did all this during like work hours so that people like didn't have to like come on the weekends to do it.
Oh my gosh, this is so nice.
It's so not the world
Nowadays,
we live
you
in
just
now.
get a boot print on your ass.
I know people that are currently getting laid off from a job who they get the call and are told they will be shut off within the hour. Like they're just done. Like,
Unbelievable.
No 2 weeks. It's just like, you're done.
That is crazy.
It's awful.
Wow. They got sent to like job summer camp.
Yeah. And Gloria
Hey.
was like, you know what? This went on for like the last 2 months we were there. And like there were so many different things to do and everything was so busy. And I think it started to give them kind of like this energy of like, oh, maybe I can do something. Like she's like, it really actually boosted morale and made it so much less traumatic.
I'm
than
sure.
it
I bet a
would have
lot
been.
of people were hooking up too. At the casino, the casino job search convention.
Why? Because they're cleaning out the dildo closet?
I'm just imagining there's a lot of, new people are mixing and mingling. Like, oh, you're in that department? Oh, how have we never crossed paths?
I thought
I'm
you
in
couldn't
HR.
figure out
you're
a
in-
way to like do the stupid thing that you do in this episode and you still
If
figure it
I
out.
were single, I'd be really excited. You know how like
If you were single, you'd be passed out in the dildo closet.
when you like meet people from like a different school, it's like you think like, oh, they're going to be so cute because they're from a different school. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, they're just like
They're just like
the same
you and
as
me.
these guys.
You're just like Ralph, and I hate Ralph. All right, so now they're heading into the 90s with a plan for mail order.
Nice.
1, less mail order business, but more profit per item.
Okay.
2, smaller workforce. They're getting paid less to take care of everything.
Okay.
This new plan lasts for 6 months.
Oh, no.
Then they shut down mail order.
I feel like the writing has been on the wall for a really long time. Like they knew it was going down, but they were so stubborn that they kind of just like
No, they
kept
weren't
reading.
stubborn. They just couldn't sell it. So there's like, what are we going to do? I mean, I guess they
Yeah.
could have just shut it down, but they did. They're like, well,
They had to try everything.
they had to try everything. So it lasts only for 6 more months. June 1990, they announced that they're going to just end it altogether. Another 65 people are out of work.
Oh.
They did all those things to help them find a new
That's
job.
so nice.
We come around to another 6 months later, January of 1991, another 89 people lose their job, this time from like Spencer headquarters.
Oh my gosh.
It is just the nation is now in a retail slump. This is a
Wow.
really bad time for it. Everyone from people in the mailroom to executives are losing their jobs. They had hoped that they would get this big bump from Christmas, and that just didn't happen. And then there was
So
an
sad. That's like so sad for some reason.
Christmas. Well, see, that's
Christmas at the dildo company, and like
Here's the
expecting
thing.
to hit. You have like you decorate the office. You're expecting like, ooh, we're gonna get to have our big party, and then it's just like 3 orders this month.
they like heat up dildos and curve them to look like the shape of a candy
canes.
canes. There's just dildo candy canes hanging everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, this is bad, but we're talking about December 1989.
Okay.
So December 1989. In this hand, we have the dildo company failing.
Mm-hmm.
Executives know that at the beginning of the year, they're going to get rid of another 89 people.
Yeah.
In this hand, on December 13th, we have Taylor Swift being born. So that month has a lot.
There's a lot. There's an energy. And you know how energy cannot be created nor destroyed? So the energy that was, it just
She sucked all the energy out of it,
transferred.
yes.
Yes. It transferred from Spencer Gifts. It kind of had its own momentum. It had its own life force.
Yeah.
And there was a void in Andrea Smith. What's her name? Andrea
What's her last name? What's Taylor Swift's mom's last
Taylor
name?
Smith. There was a void at
Have
Taylor
you seen
Smith.
that interview?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Oh my God, it's one of the classic Taylor Swift interview. Not early in her career, but still, she's very famous.
Uh-huh.
So this like little like bumpkin kind of like hillbilly interviewer interviews her, and she's like, "Thank you, Taylor Smith," and like she like goes to do something else, and you just see Taylor like,
Like
"What?" It's great. You're the bumpkin news reporter.
I will take that. I will take that.
So yes, you're trying to say that Taylor Swift sucked in all the dildo energy, and that's
Yes.
why she's such a beautiful, sexy
It
woman.
powered her. It powered her career. It gave her the momentum she needed to become who she is today.
Got it. So there's an interview with a man named Lauren Latarte. He was a senior vice president. And when those people got laid off, that other like 89 people, he personally wrote, and remember, this is not the world of email.
Mm-hmm.
He personally wrote 200 companies in southern New Jersey just to say, hey, if you guys have any jobs, can you let us
gosh.
know so we can pass that on to our employees?
Wow.
I gotta say, I was very impressed with like, unless this is all a PR spin, but it doesn't seem
That's about
even
as
if it is
nice as you could be.
Yeah.
Aside from giving people their jobs back, I mean that's like unbelievable.
Yeah, and what he was saying, and it kind of makes sense, is like this is a bad time in retail,
Yeah.
but he does believe that the company will do well in the next economic cycle.
Sure.
He's like, there's always opportunity for growth when there's a downturn, but the only way you're going to have that growth is if you survive. So
You have
like
to
all
weather
these
the
things
storm.
they're doing, it's just to get by.
And if you're selling non-essentials kind of as like part of your identity is these are non-essential things, dildos arguably essential or not,
I mean,
it's going to be tough in economic downturns because people don't need the fake barf and the magic buzzer and the lava lamps and the inflatable chairs.
absolutely. So now the main focus is just on the retail stores, obviously, because the mail order is completely gone. They go through several different logo changes. I'll put those in the supplementals. They're very fun.
In
Like
my
the
mind,
80s
they're
one.
all like kind of ugly.
No, the 80s one's great. It's got like a grid behind it. Is so essentially 80s.
Okay.
The new one now, we'll talk about it. The store definitely gets a lot more risque inventory, a bunch of adult novelty items in the back of the store. They have like pole dancing kits and obviously sexual toys. It's geared towards adults that are too embarrassed to go to like an actual like XXX store because they're just in the mall like we keep talking about. So they're comfortable going in there to like buy their wife some panties and buy me a little whatever. Ring. Keep it out.
Nipple clamps.
Yes. Member circle. So they get through the 90s. 1999 is a huge year for Spencer Gifts. Do you know why? Do you remember why? We have talked about it.
What?
I have talked about it.
Today?
No, but on the pod.
What?
Spencer Gifts buys Spirit Halloween.
Yes.
Spencer Gifts buys Spirit
my
Halloween.
gosh.
Now, if you do not know, I have done an entire episode on Spirit Halloween, so I'm not going to go into that brand at all. Go listen to the episode.
According to Michael's Costco, it is time to get in the Halloween spirit. I say now is the time to.
I went to Anthropology right
into
across
it.
the Spencer 2 days ago. They had a Halloween out. I went to somewhere else yesterday. They had a Halloween out. Like, Halloween is out. It's not just online, it's out.
Costco is selling a nativity scene.
Spirit
Halloween's done. It's already Christmas.
Spirit Halloween is officially going to do Spirit Christmas again, which if you
Great.
listen to that episode, they tried it before. Now they're going to try it
I
again.
think it's good.
Spirit Halloween, it's all private, so they don't release numbers. It is believed that with how they've been able to grow that, they bought it in 2003, or 1999, I'm sorry. It wasn't huge, but they have turned that into such a juggernaut of a company. They get maybe half their revenue just from that, which is only open a couple of months a year. The website's open all year, but retail stores are only...
But it does seem very economically dependent too, because I know if I'm having like a lean October, I'm not going to be wanting to go spend a few $100s on like styrofoam tombstones and like fog machines. But if I have a little extra money, I'm like, let's go hog wild this year. Like, it sounds really fun. So I'm curious how they'll fare with these challenging economic times.
Yeah.
This is a news show.
Welcome to GAY News. 2003, Spencer Gifts is sold to a new company, and they do a really big rebranding here. This is when they lose gifts. The idea behind that is now, instead of, they don't want people to see the store as a place you go to buy things for other people. They want it to be a store where you go to buy things for yourself.
Yes.
We'll start seeing more graphic tees that show off your personality and your identity. They think it'll give people more of a connection to the store. They changed their logo to look like graffiti. They changed the storefronts to look like you're in an alley. So you're walking down the mall and all of a sudden it's like exposed brick and a tagged Spencer Gifts. I took a picture of myself there looking very old in front of this store. It's this whole new look. And like I said, you're going to find graphic tees. You're going to find body piercings. And of course, you're going to find dildos. I looked at the dildos there. They seem to have several different series of dildos. They have like a series that's all like space dildos. It's like the moon. Well, I'll talk about this in the X-rated stuff.
The kids are still in the car.
Yeah. And then I think I was telling you, I don't remember if this is on pod or off pod earlier. I was thinking 2003, wow, this is a relatively new rebrand, but that was 22 years ago.
Don't like that one
it's
bit.
already looked like this for 22 years.
Don't like that one bit.
And then I'm just going to plow through some, that's all the good. It's all been fine. They're thriving. Like, it's insane to me that the store that I went to the mall in whatever, the 80s, there's one down the street for me. And somehow it's still surviving, but it makes sense with Spirit Halloween. And they've just managed to do something saying that a lot of retail stores, that's why I'm doing this episode, a lot of stores have failed.
Yes.
And this store is very niche, but has managed to survive.
Well, because how many shoe stores are there in the mall? How many hat stores, clothing stores, toy stores? This is like
there will always only be one dildo store.
The dildoery.
Dildoery. You're going to mold your own dildo. So let's plow through a few hazingas.
Okay.
1962 violated the Federal Trade Commission Act by making misleading statements that its reduce ease girdle will help you lose 4 inches without dieting.
Okay,
that's
fair.
Not true. They got in trouble. 1969 violated the same act by saying that their jewelry contained genuine, precious, or semi-precious, or 24-karat gold, or sterling silver. All of that was false.
Oh, honey, your finger's green. That's a lie.
It was just metal all along. 1970 violated the same act by saying that their non-prescription magnifying spectacles could fix your eyes when they failed to say you had to be an older person who had no eye diseases previously and they only needed magnifying glasses.
Oh, okay. Readers.
1983, age discrimination suit. They had to pay an old man they fired who wasn't even old, probably like 50-something, $1.1 million because they wanted to bring in young blood who they could pay less. 85, BBC does a whole piece on them stating that 1/4 of their catalog descriptions are factually incorrect. 1980s, they had a tax evasion case where they tried to avoid paying taxes. Their treasurer who turned them in, they fired. They had to pay him over $300,000 to make up for that.
Great.
And then various years, they just had what you were talking about earlier, different teachers or parents or cities get onto them about selling dildos in a mall. But none of it really was like too damaging for them. And nowadays with everything, with the internet and everything we have, a lot of that, it's like no one cares anymore.
People are less scandalized.
Much less scandalized now. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much the story. Like I said, I did go into a Spencer Gifts. I'm going to go over a couple things now. If you have children listening, you might want to have them step out. We'll probably beep some of this stuff, but here's what's happening at Spencer Gifts
Send them into the mall for a few minutes.
Send them into the Gap while you're in Spencer's. So you go in, it's a very dark store, not necessarily like blacklight, but they do have like the blacklight feel. It's just a dark store.
It's a little mood lighting.
There's a million of everything. There's a million fleece blankets with like, it's like basically the graphic t-shirt version of a fleece blanket with like every movie on it, every like funny saying, Strawberry Shortcake, Jaws,
the
Scarface.
Yeah.
What I did love that they had the old school like poster flipper with like, I was like, take me. I stood there while the like young kids were flicking boobies, like flipping through the posters.
What kind of posters?
It would have like weird, like.
Is it like Smurfs or is it like?
It was everything. It was like normal stuff. I feel like it was like zombie Marilyn Monroe, but then also like a current movie poster. Or there's always like, I'm sure you would go there to get an Elf poster or like all these things that have just become mainstays in pop culture, like South Park and all that.
Yeah.
They had a million mugs, a million fuzzy pillows.
The magnets are what I remember as a kid, being really tickled by the funny, saucy magnets. Yeah.
I enjoy a magnet.
They were like with the inappropriate little jokes on them. Those were fun.
They had a bunch of piercings. They don't do piercings, but you can buy body jewelry there.
They should get into the piercing game. Go there, get your nipples pierced.
I want a 15-year-old to like pierce the most delicate part of my ball sack.
They only do ball sacks and nipples.
Most delicate part of aren't all my parts of my ball sack delicate?
Well, that's the most fashionable place to have a piercing, the most delicate part.
That is true. There are a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot of graphic tees.
Wow. Okay.
There's both walls are graphic tees. There's towers of graphic tees. The front store is graphic tees. They are everywhere.
Do cool people shop there, or is it for kind of like socially outcast people?
I will say, I also wondered who shops here.
Okay.
I can say with confidence, I have never seen anyone wear any of the shirts that I am about to read.
Okay.
Future MILF. Easy. I heart hot dads. Okay. I bet your birthstone is a crack rock.
Oh, jeez.
Blow job queen. Proud to have a little wiener. Eating cures depression. There's 3. One just says slut. One just says bitch. There's one that says I'm not shy. I just don't like you. There's one that says overworked and under. There's one that says, I made your dad a bottom. There's one that says, I eat like a fat kid eats cake. And then they've got a couple games, Up-opoly, and like I told you, creature which are like alien dicks. So, and then you turn the corner and they have snacks. You can get Fritos, you can get gummy bears.
Oh my God. I think I might have to be protesting because I find this to be wildly inappropriate.
Who is wearing this? And for the record, all in stock.
Oh, sure.
All every size. You are not having trouble finding any. You want to be blowjob queen? They got your size. I made your dad a bottom. Who are you hoping is going to read that?
That's my favorite because there's such a story that precedes it.
Yeah.
I love that one.
I
made your dad. Also, your mom was such like a trope for so long.
Yeah.
Like your mom last night. I love dads getting in on the fun.
Yeah.
I made your dad a bottom. That is bravo.
I kind of regret now that I'm too
didn't get
thrifty
that?
that I didn't buy that to wear just for this episode. But maybe someday I'll get that.
Oh
so
my God.
There you go. That's Spencer's Gifts. That's Spencer's. That's the store. That's where we're at. The past, the present, the future. Marisa, is Spencer's on brand or off brand for you?
I thought it was, but now I'm quite scandalized. And I know I have somewhat of a filthy sense of humor, but
Are you feeling overworked and under?
can't believe anybody would. If I saw somebody wearing a shirt like that down, I would call 911. I would say this person is not well.
Your daughter comes home and she's just wearing a shirt that says slut.
I cannot. I also like that it kind of came like in a coordinating 3-pack, like it's for 3 best friends.
All of them were like on the same thing. And they're just to make it more pop culture, if you're familiar with the Charlie XCX CD, it's like
yeah.
that green with just brat.
Yeah.
They're all modeled after that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I weep. I weep.
I know. It really, that was like, I was like, I will, listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm torn on if it's on brand or off brand for me because
Yeah.
I could see a moment where they put out something that goes viral and I'm like,
Sure.
I need to run over there and get that McDonald's socks or whatever, that fun thing.
If they were doing like a throwback thing and it was happened to be with a brand you liked, it's maybe a charm that could work on your charm bracelet.
Yeah,
I could
so
see you shopping there.
I can't say it's totally off brand for me.
It's on brand for me at 12 because it was my one place to dip. I was a very good kid. I did not get into any mischief. And this, except for a brief foray into paganism. But
We all got tarot cards.
we all were witchy for a little bit at 12 in the witchcraft section of Barnes and Noble.
Of course.
But this was the one place where I could kind of feel like I can freely explore, enter this world that is so forbidden and so
Be my
taboo.
own woman.
Be my own woman. Get some inspiration for how I'm going to decorate my apartment when I'm a free lady. And for that girl, it's on brand. For me now, I also don't think it can't have been that vulgar as a kid. It
There's
cannot
no
have
way.
been. I feel
There's
like
no
it was
way.
like boobies and weenies.
Well, this is how this goes back. We've talked about this in various incarnations, like Madonna's sex book in 1990. You see her breast, and she's like eating a slice of pizza in the middle of the street, and that's has to be sold in a Mylar bag, and like give your thumbprint, and it's so scandalous. And then wet ass comes out 20 years later, and we're like, okay.
This is like the equivalent of that, where I'm like, I'm imagining me at 12 seeing a T-shirt that said, "I made your dad a bottom," and being
Mommy,
like,
what's a bottom?
I'm scared. I need to like go home and cry into my pillow. This is like too much for me. Like I've only ever seen like Cinemax. Like I'm not ready for "I made your dad a bottom."
I could, and this is not all the shirts. I mean, I didn't know how many I could get away with reading just time-wise, but there are more.
So I would implore anybody who is in a mall with a Spencer's, go in and see for yourself, report back.
It's all online, too. You can do this from your couch.
I do it from the comfort of your own home,
Yeah.
so you're not seen in there in public. See your math teacher there buying a buying a T-shirt in there. That's not where you want to see a teacher. It's off-brand for me now. Currently, it's off-brand for me.
I'm going to have to say it's not a hard on brand for me, but it is on brand for me because I do believe there could be something at some point. Now that it's back on my radar, because I did the show, it'll pop up in all my algorithms.
You're going to be getting emails,
I mean,
text
the
messages
past
from
week has been
Spencer.
all Igloo. It was like Labubu for 2
know.
weeks. It's like everything I research has so much, but
It's wild.
it's on brand for me.
Wow.
There you
I
go.
am worn out.
That is a lot. That is
Thank you, Jon. That was fantastic.
That was a lot of fun. I hope everyone had a nice trip down memory lane. All right.
I think so.
Before we go, of course, I gotta do my Freaks of the Week. And if you are wondering how to be our Freak of the Week, all you have to do is check out our Insta Egg every Wednesday on our Instagram story and solve the puzzle. If you solve that puzzle, so many things are going to happen in your life. You're going to get a Freak badge sent to you from me almost instantly because I'm always in bed on my phone waiting for you to guess it right. Your name is going to be added to the Wheel of Freaks. I'm going to spin that 5 times, and 5 of you are going to be Freak of the Week that week. And that's who these lucky 5 people are right now. Trevor Gage, Cami Lewis, Randall Rigo, Seth Young, and Kristen Cafaldo. So congratulations on being our Freaks of the Week. Like I said, check out our Instagram story every Wednesday to see a new Insta Egg. Also, just check out our Instagram feed. Every week we post little posters of the episode. We post supplemental material that we talk about in the show. We just post a lot of different things that are fun to look at and just give you more in-depth into the podcast. If you're enjoying listening to us, but you really want to see us, check us out on YouTube. All of our episodes are now posted on YouTube, so you can watch the entire show. And Marissa, what else?
While we're giving shout outs, I'd like to shout out some lovely listeners who left us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. First, we have Tom 1066, the best duo in pod. Look out, Doughboys. Following Marissa and Jon over from our hilarious guest visits on Doughboys. Loving it. Binging now. Added the show to my Patreon subs. Their back and forth is crazy quick with love developed as best friends and LOL funny. Wow, what a ringing endorsement.
Okay,
Tell
love.
your friends. If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do. It helps boost the show. It boosts our mood and it brightens our day. Check us out on Instagram, @OnBrandThePod, TikTok, @OnBrandThePodcast. You can play Jon's Insta Egg. You can chat with Jon in bed. Check out all the stuff that Jon mentioned. We love to see you over there as well. If you want more of Jon and Marisa, check out our Patreon, Off Brand with Jon and Marisa. And with that, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, we may go off topic, but we'll always be on brand.
Bye.
Bye.